We've all heard the promise clean energy will save our planet. The idea is simple and appealing. Harness the power of the sun, the wind, and other renewable sources to create a sustainable future. It's a vision of a world where our energy needs are met without harming the environment, where pollution is a thing of the past, and where we can all breathe a little easier. But is this vision too good to be true? Wind, solar, and electric cars, they're here to make our world greener and healthier, or are they? These technologies are often hailed as the ultimate solution to our environmental woes. They promise to reduce our carbon footprint, decrease our reliance on fossil fuels, and pave the way for a cleaner, more sustainable future. But beneath the shiny surface of this green revolution lies a darker reality. But what if the idea of clean energy is a lie? What if the very technologies we're counting on to save the planet are in fact contributing to its destruction? It's a question that's rarely asked, but it's one that we need to confront if we're serious about creating a truly sustainable future. A marketing scheme designed to sell us dreams while hiding the dirty truth. The clean energy industry is big business, and like any big business, it's driven by profit. Companies and governments alike have a vested interest in promoting the idea that clean energy is the answer to all our problems. But what they don't tell us is that the production and deployment of these technologies come with significant environmental and social costs. Solar panels sound clean, but they're made using polysilicon, a process that releases toxic chemicals like silicon tetrachloride, which poisons nearby communities. The production of solar panels is energy intensive and often relies on coal-fired power plants, which means that the carbon footprint of a solar panel can be surprisingly high. And then there's the issue of waste. Solar panels have a limited lifespan, and when they reach the end of their useful life, they become hazardous waste that's difficult and expensive to dispose of. Wind turbines, built from rare earth metals like neodymium, extracted in mining operations that devastate the environment. The mining process involves the use of toxic chemicals and generates large amounts of waste, which can contaminate soil and water and harm local communities. And then there's the issue of the turbines themselves. They're massive structures that require a lot of energy and resources to build, and they have a limited lifespan, which means that they'll eventually need to be replaced, creating even more waste. Electric cars are touted as the eco-friendly solution. They promise to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and cut our carbon emissions, but the reality is more complicated. The production of electric cars is energy intensive and relies on a range of materials, including lithium, cobalt, and nickel, which are often mined under environmentally and socially destructive conditions. And then there's the issue of the batteries. They're made from materials that are difficult and expensive to recycle, which means that they often end up in landfills where they can leach toxic chemicals into the environment. But their batteries rely on cobalt, a mineral often mined under horrifying conditions, including child labor in Congo. The mining process is dangerous and exploitative, and it often takes place in countries with weak environmental and labor protections. This means that the true cost of an electric car is often borne by some of the world's most vulnerable people. The mining process destroys ecosystems and leaves toxic scars on the land. It can lead to deforestation, soil erosion, and water pollution, which can have devastating effects on local communities and wildlife. And then there's the issue of climate change. The extraction and processing of these materials generates significant amounts of greenhouse gases, which means that the carbon footprint of an electric car can be surprisingly high. Clean energy doesn't just power our homes and cars, it's in everything we use. From the devices we rely on for communication and entertainment to the products we use in our daily lives, clean energy is a part of our modern world. But the production and disposal of these products come with significant environmental and social costs, which are often hidden from view. From your phone to your yoga mat, these so-called sustainable products are made from petrochemicals and treated with toxic substances that can cause cancer and other illnesses. The production of these products often involves the use of hazardous chemicals and generates large amounts of waste, which can contaminate soil and water and harm local communities. And then there's the issue of disposal. Many of these products are difficult and expensive to recycle, which means that they often end up in landfills, where they can leach toxic chemicals into the environment. Why don't we hear about these truths? The clean energy industry is big business, and like any big business, it has a vested interest in promoting a positive image. Companies and governments alike have a lot to gain from the promotion of clean energy, and they often go to great lengths to hide the environmental and social costs of these technologies. Because the green energy industry is worth trillions, a cash cow for corporations and governments who market it as the solution while pocketing the profits. The promotion of clean energy is often driven by financial interests rather than a genuine concern for the environment. This means that the true costs of these technologies are often hidden from view, and the people who bear the brunt of these costs are often the most vulnerable. So, what's the solution? It's not about rejecting clean energy, but holding companies and governments accountable. We need to demand transparency about the true costs of these technologies and hold those responsible for their production and deployment accountable for their actions. This means advocating for stronger environmental and labor protections, supporting grassroots movements that are working to create a more sustainable future, and making more informed choices about the products we use and the energy we consume. We need transparency about the true costs and grassroots action to reduce our dependence on industrial systems. This means supporting local and community-based initiatives that are working to create a more sustainable future, advocating for policies that promote environmental and social justice, and making more informed choices about the products we use and the energy we consume. It's about recognizing that the true cost of clean energy is often hidden from view and taking action to address these hidden costs. Clean energy isn't clean until we clean up the truth. It's about recognizing that the technologies we're counting on to save the planet are often contributing to its destruction and taking action to address these hidden costs. This means demanding transparency from companies and governments, supporting grassroots movements that are working to create a more sustainable future, and making more informed choices about the products we use and the energy we consume. The power to change lies in your hands. It's about recognizing that we all have a role to play in creating a more sustainable future and taking action to address the hidden costs of clean energy. This means making more informed choices about the products we use and the energy we consume, supporting grassroots movements that are working to create a more sustainable future, and demanding transparency from companies and governments. Visit AskWhiteTV.com. For more eye-opening content, join the conversation #TheDirtyTruth. It's about recognizing that the true cost of clean energy is often hidden from view and taking action to address these hidden costs. This means demanding transparency from companies and governments, supporting grassroots movements that are working to create a more sustainable future, and making more informed choices about the products we use and the energy we consume. Together, we can create a more sustainable future.